Afternoon. Hope everyone can hear me with my mask on. Welcome to our event. My name is Lin Zhao. I am a member of the Asian American Pacific Islands Subcommittee, and it is my pleasure to welcome everyone and those on Zoom to join us to today's event, the Heart to Heart live stream concert. Today's event to celebrate AAPI's cultural through music, and also a kickoff event from AAPI committee working towards establishing the commission of AAPI on UT campus in the fall of 2022. So thank you very much to take out your time from your busy day to join us. So welcome. Before we get started, I want to thank the partners who made this event possible. U.S. Heartland China Association, an organization committed to build stronger ties between the U.S. Heartland regions and China. The Division of Diversity and Engagement, which generously sponsored the event, and also the Office of Asia Engagement, which put in a lot of work to organizing today's event. You see all the decorations and food. In a short moment, we will enjoy the duet on Chinese and Arabic roots, improvised by virtuosos Gao Hong on the pipa and Issam Rafea on the oud. The duet won 2 gold medals from the Global Music Awards from Our World to Yours album in 2020. Their performance will start at 3:30. Followed by Q&A session at 4:30. The artists will take questions from both the floor and via Zoom. In addition to 2 featured artists today, it is my great honor to also welcome Professor Qilong Hu and Sandra Powell, endowed professor of piano from the School of Music. He will lecture us on the differences between the Western and Eastern culture and music. And Dr. Miroslav Hristov also will join us and demonstrate some music example on a violin. Also, special thanks to Natalie Hristov back in there, who made this wonderful exhibition you can see of China and Arabic music. So without further ado, I would like to hand this over to Dr. Hu to get us started.
Thank you, Professor Zhao, for a wonderful introduction. I'm very honored and excited to be here and seeing old friends, new friends. It's just so awesome to have a great event like this that brings music, friendship, and culture diversity. Recently, I realized how much impact we get from our childhood. I remember when I was a little boy, I grew up in Taiwan, in a southern city called Tainan. And when I was in the 5th grade, I had a school trip. It's an school orchestra trip to Taipei, which is the capital of Taiwan. We performed in a station, and during the trip, also have a lot of new experiences. First of all, little boy to see a big city, and at that time I was crazily secretly admiring a girl who's playing violin, very talented girl. And those one night she shared with me. And right now, even years later, I think of it, I still feel so excited. That was my very first taste of McDonald's chicken nuggets. So, there's crispy outside, juicy tenderness inside. That's probably where my American dream started. This is for the same trip. We also perform, like I said, and the music we perform was very unusual. It's a modern piece inspired by Chinese poem from the Tang Dynasty. It used some kind of traditional instruments and used a very different kind of sound. So that was my experience. Something very strange, but so powerful and expressive can happen when you bring 2 different cultures together. And so later, I start to learn more and more about music. I start to see what makes the difference between the Western music and Eastern music. And right now I can share with you, I think there are three aspects that make the music sound very different. The first one is the different kind of scale we use. The second one is the instrument. The third one is the aesthetics. What we think about is beautiful. So let's start with the first one. I'll have my colleague Christoph to help to demonstrate what kind of scale can be used in different part of the music. So the majority of the music we know nowadays from the Western culture, we divide an octave into 12 different notes. But even we have 12 notes, we don't use them evenly. So the composer prefer to use some notes and leave out some notes. So the choice will make a difference. Of course, there's some composers that use all 12 notes evenly. That's a very special kind of music we call atonal or serial music. It's a very special and interesting kind of modern music. But when we use only part of it, for example, we can have only 7 notes out of 12 that we can make for example, major scale or minor scale. So Mia, can you play a major scale for us? Good. So can you think of a song that's made of major scale? Beautiful. So we hear all 7 notes in a scale. But if we don't use 7 notes, let's limit our choice to only 5 notes. So if we choose only 5 out of 12, we got a different kind of scale. It's called pentatonic scale, which means 5-note scale. So there are different kind of pentatonic scale. The very popular one is the Chinese pentatonic scale. Can you play a Chinese pentatonic scale? Good. So this is, if we use mainly just 5 notes in this, and we can create some very, very expressive and beautiful music. Thank you. So some of you might know this is called the Butterfly Lover. It's the number 1 popular violin concerto in China. And like we said earlier, and it could be a different kind of 5 notes. If we choose different 5 kind of 5 notes, we can get a Japanese pentatonic scale. Good. Can you give us an example? So this is a very unique flavor to me. And there is also different way to choose 7 notes, back to 7 notes. Can you play something a little more exotic that have some kind of minor seconds? Good. So since today we're going to hear the Chinese pipa and Arabic lute. So this is actually Arabic scale. It's very unique because it has 2 we call augmented second. It's a kind of interval. It has a very unique flavor. Can you play something in Arabic scale? Yeah, I feel I almost want to dance with it. Okay, great. So for composers and for musicians, thank you, Dr. Christoph. So for composers, those scales are like our toolbox. And it's like the spice for the chef. You put in a different spice, you have a certain kind of flavor. So this is the first thing we get in Western and Eastern music. We use different kind of scale in different parts of the world. But this is only talking about the pitch, the note itself. But there's also rhythm. Music also has timbre. The timbre is like the quality of the sound. So, and that makes the next difference. There's an instrument, because each instrument has a very different timbre. So actually, we got a little Chinese instruments here. If you're interested, take a look when you have a chance. And there's generously provided by Paul Barrett. And so we see a different kind of sound. The Western music, the Western instrument will mainly develop in the 17th or 18th century, like mirror play violin. The most expensive violins are so outrageously expensive. They're like in the millions. And they are actually made from the 17th or 18th century. And they're antique, but they still play beautifully. It's very unusual. It's hard for us to believe how come over this 200 and 300 years, we don't find a better way to make a violin. but still, when you have those violins, they can project so well in a concert hall, and people sitting in the very end of the concert hall can still feel very clear and hear all the nuances. This is the greatest violin. But when it comes to the Asian or other parts of the country, we see a different kind of development of their instrument. And a few years ago, I had a chance to visit Wuhan. There's a museum. They discovered a set of bells. There are 64 bells, and each bell can play two notes. So actually, they can play all the chromatic scale, all the 12 notes in a scale already. And that was discovered from the tomb, and that was dated from about 400 BC. So thousands of years ago, this already has that kind of instrument. So we see the music development in Asian country and Eastern culture and Western cultures. They have a different way of developing their instruments, and also music reflects, the manufacture of their instruments. And we have a little time. The last part of the difference makes Eastern and Western music a little different. I feel I cannot generalize on the aesthetics about different culture, but I can share with you my observations. Back to my childhood experience, when I grew up, I like to watch comic books. And at that time, it's very popular for kids in Taiwan to read a Japanese cartoon or Japanese comic books. And my favorite ones are like Doraemon, who's like a small schoolboy with a cat from the future. And the other one is Crayon Xinjiang. Is also a 5-year-old boy who's very naughty. And all those storylines in the comic books talking about daily life, small things, nothing significant. It's about family, taking a shower, cleaning the house, going to a restaurant, this kind of small things. But that make you feel loved, you feel cared, and you find joy in these small things. And when I come to America, come to the States, I realize the kids here actually grow up with comic books too. But a lot of time they deal with superheroes and superpower and saving the world, want to be the greatest. So I feel this has already set a different tone of how you view the world is already different. And we can see in arts, it's also a very different kind of philosophy. If you have a chance to see some famous painting, for example, like Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, you see there's a golden ratio. And when you look at the painting, the lights and the eyes, you kind of direct you to look at the painting in a certain way, at a certain kind of procedure. There's a direction for you to appreciate it. And when you look at Asian arts, the most famous Chinese painting is called 清明上河图. It's along the Yangtze River, around the Qingming Festival. It's a gigantic painting, and they're talking about all walks of life happening along the river. And you can see cows, you can see children, you see mountains, farmers, and temples, festivals. It's everywhere. You can take any part of the painting and make it perfect stamps. So, in other words, there are multiple focuses. This is not just one focus. There are many, many focuses. So you can see that this is already a little different. Another example of this kind of, when we look at focus, is when we, for example, look at Western novel. Think about Shakespeare. When you talk about Romeo and Juliet, the climax when Juliet found out actually Romeo is dead in a family tomb, and she was so sad, and she stabbed herself. But this happened at the very last act. It's the very end of the story. So everything built up to the very end. You hear a big drama, the big climax. But at the same time, in Chinese literature, this is about Minqin Xiaoshuo. That's the chaptered novel. At the end of each chapter, it says, if you want to find out what happened next, read the next chapter. So basically, it tells you there's a little small climax in each chapter. So you see the difference. When we look at the world, well, sometimes we try to find one focus, but they're also part of the people from different part of the world. They found different focuses. Okay, so there's so many different kind of things mentally that makes music and art different. So music, like all kind of arts, will reflect, our way of life, our philosophy, our political atmosphere, even. So, and for us to be able to appreciate and learning different kind of music, it opens doors to the great, rich culture behind the music. So that's what we're here for. So I'm very happy you make the effort to be here, and we're going to hear wonderful musical presentation from different part of the world. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, special thanks to Natalie and putting this wonderful exhibition. And here in our School of Music library, we have a lot of more resources. If you want to learn about the instruments, the scales, the theory, it's all there. Talk to Natalie and also Kate. So wonderfully put this together. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Professor Hu and Professor Hursthoff for this wonderful demonstration and let us know so much more about the different culture, different music. Now, I want everyone to turn to the big screen now. Let's get our music string concert started.
So, hello everyone. Can you hear us? I hope. If you can hear us, everybody? Hello? Okay. So, we're Issam, Rafea, and the Gao Hong duo. We're live with stream with share the screen with you. Thank you so much for having us. As you know, our music is live composition and improvisation. Everything you hear is everything on the spot. So, what's next time? How about we introduce what's the oud, where you come from? Issam, Rafea from Syria, and let's talk about the oud.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having us. Actually, yeah, this is the oud. It's a very old instrument, back to 5,000 years ago, and it's built in different shapes during this period of time. But we end up, this is the shape, the final shape, if I can say, with different sizes. Depends on the
You need it louder. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, different sizes. I hope now much better the sound. Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a wood. It's a walnut, and this is called shuh, the face. It's 6 strings. It's F, C, G, D, A, or G. I said it as a G. And this one, single bass, like C or D or E flat. Now it's E flat. But everything now, it's half step down. The same tuning, but half step down. It's a plastic pick, this one. It's fretless instrument. Yeah, it's called the king of the Arab instruments. So here's the sound of the oud.
He's doing a solo.
Yeah, but this is too loud for him.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Somebody
you.
just left a message. Wow, that was great. I didn't know
thank
the
you.
wood can do that. Okay, let's play
Thank you.
other piece. I will introduce the people. Now, let's play music first. Okay. Hear that? Okay, good. So look like everybody still can hear us, right? So I'm going to raise my microphone a little higher. Yeah. So I'm going to introduce the Chinese pipa. Is everyone can tell me if you can hear my talk? Because I cannot to see if you okay. Yes, we can hear the music perfectly. It's crystal clear. Wonderful. Is there any chance you can bring the mic close to you? Yes, can hear you well. Beautiful. Now I'm going to closer to me. Oh, I can do it closer. Okay. See if I can make it higher.
Yes.
How you do that? Oh, let's talk. Okay, good. Now I hope you can hear better now.
Yeah.
Okay, the Chinese pipa you see here is a 4-string Chinese instrument. Their tone as 4 strings is 2,000 years old. So many people think it's like a guitar or banjo. I will say no, because we don't play the way guitar does. Guitar will plug the string towards inside. But the Chinese people play opposite way. So you flip out. Start the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and thumb like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you connect the dots. Then Chinese music always are telling the stories. I can imitate the sounds like a flowing water sound. Or blow wind. Or Chinese percussion band, like a gong, die, 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 the simple cha, 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 the drum, dung, dung, dung sound together like this. Or you can make a sounds like a horse trotting. The same time hear the music. Or you can imitate the Chinese people talking. 你好吗？很高兴见到你。How are you? Nice to meet you. 很高兴见到您。Or I can make a sounds like laughing. Ha 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 ha. But you say how we do this for just imitate the sound. That will never work because then your music will be so bored. So boring now. You'll be bored and it's so boring. So I'm going to demonstrate how the Chinese music combining with the sound fact and the music together. It's called a dragon boat. In the May 5th, Chinese people will do a boat race, look like a dragon. So you can hear the people in the beginning. It's like the percussion. Then you can hear the water behind. They rolling the boat, the bubbly water. You can hear fireworks like this. Then you can hear some of melodies. That's each melody represent each village. Then you can hear people screaming, "加油, 加油!" It's like a go University Tennessee, So like this one person cheering. Everybody follow. Then people screaming. Then they're very happy go home, just like you're watching a football game. Then you came home very happy. So this whole piece can play much, much longer, but I'm going to a short version today. Okay, here's the Dragon Ball, 龙船. Okay, somebody say if the pipa related with erhu, so I'm going to talk about that after that. So I'm trying to check, make sure my sound's okay. So now here, called the 龙船, the dragon ball. Okay, so it's kind of like crazy, right? It's very, very loud, and the Chinese people can play ambush, like an old battle. But I think tonight I want you to be very comfortable, maybe drink some nice coffee or juice or something to enjoy your beautiful afternoon. Let's have some calm down music.
Let's go.
Okay, so we normally usually will ask the audience to do it, but now, if you have somebody want to give us a title, please send it to us. Will be live composition based on your scenery or your emotion,
Feeling.
feelings or seasons. So do let us know what kind of piece you want to hear, but it's not already somebody wrote. No Mozart, no Beethoven. We are only play live composition. So if you do have a suggestion, something, then please send us. So we'll improvise it, honor your desire. So now let's go to China to have some Chinese flavor.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, that was fun, isn't it? Kind of happy. 我们的祖国一条大河. So, like I said, we're not to play anybody else's music because that's our style. We only play our live composition because the 一条大河我的祖国 is already somebody composed. It's more like you talk about the scenery or your feelings, seasons. So don't need to give us the one already composed. Anybody else want to give us? Otherwise, I will just play something else. Maybe you can recognize. Okay. Okay. So if nobody give us anything, we're going to play something you maybe know, you maybe not. Okay? Let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen carefully. Okay? Does anyone recognize what's the sound? Yes, I think somebody. Wow, rocking top. Yes, we got it. So we're just trying to teasing you in the beginning, see if you can recognize. Great, thank you. Good. I'm glad you
Figured it out.
figured it out. That was fun. I really like that. It sounds like a very we improvised on the top. We don't know, but that was fun. Okay. So anybody give us a suggestion to play? Hennessy, yes. Okay. Doesn't seems like anybody want to give to us. So we want to do something. Go to Erica.
Let's go.
Hi, we have one. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Hello, the music is beautiful. What about anything holiday music? As we head toward the end of the year, any holiday music?
Oh, so you want us to do like a celebration music, like a holiday?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do something happy. But as I said, we're not doing anything somebody else composed. We only do live composition. So we will compose on the spot for your holiday spirit. Okay, let's do it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, somebody later will have a game, children's game. Okay, now it's a holiday. Okay, this happy holiday. Okay. I was happy. I really want to take a holiday now. Okay. I hope you like the spirit of holiday. And I think somebody popped
Yes,
up.
thank you. Beautiful.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. I think somebody forgot to mute themselves, and I can clearly hear some noisy there. Anybody, could you please mute yourself if that's possible? Thank you. So next one, how about something related to games?
Game.
Game. Like actually, you some never know. We have one Chinese children's song I usually sing. I find a good friend. He never heard of that. So that's our music. You never know. So I'm going to sing for you first.
Mhm.
See if you can just follow me. Then we'll go there. So I love this piece so much, little,
Okay.
because of the meaningful thing. Is I'm not a good singer. The reason I play the pipa because my mom think every time I sing it's like somebody step on the rooster. So it's terrible. But I love this song. Is my grow up. I love this song. Is that I find a good friend. 找呀找呀找呀找，找到一个好朋友，金歌里要握握手，你是我的好朋友。再见，which means I look for, I look for, I look for, I find a good friend.
Nice.
I bow to you, I shake your hand, you're my good friend. So now everybody who come today, even met, we haven't we didn't meet, but at least we're the same space. Now we're good friends, don't we? Yes. Now let's also it's kind of like a Chinese game we're playing. So I'm going to play that. So just follow me. Then we just do whatever we want. Okay?
Okay.
I think a lot of Chinese students and faculty, professors, and friends will recognize this song very well.
I'm sorry, I ruined the melody.
No, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Issam never heard of this ever. Beautiful. I love it. Okay, I think that's so much fun. Yes, great. I think we're going to have one more piece. Then we'll have opened up with questions and whatever you want to ask. We have 30 minutes of a question, educational, whatever it is. So now we'll close. We have about 8 minutes.
Okay.
For one piece. We're going to play whatever. Okay. Maybe tone. I'm going to ask this somebody to mute this person up. Good. What else? Is not muted? Not muted. Okay. Good. Everybody muted. Okay. Good. Okay. Now I think we can. Yes. 3:29. Perfect. Okay. So anybody have a questions we can answer, or you have anything we can do, or whatever. I don't know. I maybe need to bring the computer closer because I really can't see. Any questions? Hello?
So the first
Hello?
okay, can you hear me okay?
Too much echo. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
It's too much
Can you hear me okay?
Now it's better.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So the first question from the audience is, as the improv performances, does your emotions, moods, and the current environment impact the way you play? Or what kind of music you want to compose and play?
Your microphone is very distorted. I only understand like a half question. So what's about something? Could you repeat? I think you need away from your microphone. It's too close.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. Is it better?
You still need to be further.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Sorry about that. So, as an impromptu performance, do your emotions, moods, current environment impact the way you play, or what kind of music do you want to compose and play?
Oh, wonderful. Yes, we have a lot of emotional when we improvisation, and we all brought heart to heart, literally, because like we said all the time, our music is only composed live. So we really is only use the heart to connect. And for the environment, and if we wanted to do something, we love to protect the beautiful. We love nature. So if we ever wanted to compose something, for me, I love to like a mountain, river, and all the nature. If you ever go to a YouTube, check my music. Most of all the music is about a beautiful scenery. And how about you, Sam?
Yeah, actually, if I understood right, uh, our emotions, does it affect our music? I
Oh,
think this is the
okay.
question.
I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
So of course, because this is our base, our everything. To play music, you have to be very emotional, maybe
Yeah.
very notice what's going on, and for sure, anything can affect the moment. If you're nervous, if you're sad, or whatever. But yeah, you the standard, and whatever comes, after that. This is in addition, and this is gonna go, you know, well as well.
Yeah, actually, if we're live concert, actually the audience is part of the creation of the
Yeah,
music, because
definitely.
your reaction actually helping us to make better. Or if you guys, if somebody play the phone, or if somebody doing something that distracted us, we may not be able to put our heart. So actually, today is where first time do a live stream like this in the big. We did a lot of live stream from universities and the Schubert Club and the others. But today we're did from our home. So I hope the sound is not too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah, because we hear beautiful here, but we just don't know how the sound will be there because we can't hear other people. But it's a wonderful question. Thank you. And any other questions?
Yeah, I think the second question is somewhat related. So we talk about how the emotions impact your music. And the second question is asking, do you have any artists that both or either of you feel inspired by?
Hmm.
Artist.
Artist. Are you just a musician or artist? Anything?
I think it's a very general question. So it could be
Okay.
any kind of,
Sure.
any type of
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
I love so many artists. So
Yeah.
of course, this is art. Somebody has to impact you, influence with everything. So for sure, but I don't have one in specific. But I do love a lot of great musicians as well.
Yeah. So this question just so weird happened. I wanted to tell you some story. So yesterday I just got RCD release through the ARC music label in UK. So and also I released the other CD. So yesterday I got announced I was chosen by the BBC in UK as the National Album Day of Female Artists, because they're going to celebrate all the female artists. They asked me, what is my favorite artist or favorite musician? Has to be a female. First thing I come up, you wouldn't believe. Guess what?
There to the camera.
邓丽君, Teresa Deng. Everybody would say, what? Are you a pop musician? or are you a traditional? Because when I grew up, the time I was a teenager, the time of first time I ever heard of this fresh air, the pop music, and she's from Taiwan. So underneath, people snuck in because I have two classmates Deng Lijun to kick out from the school. But I would quietly hear it. It's not because I haven't heard, because the way she sings was so emotional. I feel the freshness, I feel the charming, I feel the touch my heart. Since that has been really influenced me when I play music, I want like her to pour my heart. So if you ever have a chance, please check Deng Lijun is Teresa Deng. It's not about the music style. It's about how she deliver the music so into your heart. I was a teenager. I was every time I hear it, I'm sad, I'm crying. I'm so joy. So I think that really influenced me to why play music. I want to like her. So that's very interesting question. Just related. Just yesterday, I had to a recording for the UK BBC about what my favorite. Now everybody know, right? You're ahead for everybody. It's supposed to be not announcing until October 16th, but UK doesn't know. But anyway. So any other questions?
Yeah, first, congratulations on being awarded. I think that's very well deserved.
Thank you.
And for myself, I didn't grow up with Teresa Chan, but I also loved Deng Lijun, all her songs, and my parents did as well. So the next question we have is, do you believe music is a good tool to unite cultures? And if so, how?
Absolutely. That's really the simplest, Issam from Syria, I'm from China, and we really don't have a common any background, anything. But when we play music, if you heard this afternoon, one time we were both went to the key, was never communicate. We even didn't went to the key from B went to A. We even didn't know. That's not saying how you can connect the culture. It's the music to connect your heart. It doesn't matter you're from Syria, Korea, or from wherever you come from, Africa or Spain. It's the music had the same feeling. We all feel the sadness. We all feel the happiness. We feel everything just like a human being. We are human being. So why is that? I think the music is kind of easy to connect the people's emotion. And you don't have to speak different language, but you still can feel the feelings. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know what to say here because of the music, you know. So music can easily connect people together for sure, and culture as well. That's why I love to collaborate with great musicians just to get their experience, and they get your experience as well. And this is it. How to represent yourself, how to present your culture, how you represent your root. So yeah, definitely. And yes, music is music and universal language actually.
So actually, one of our CD was a first ever we met. We went to a studio, just never talk. We started a thing called Hidden Dance. The first 4 hour, we had like a 40,000 hit from all over the world. I remember somebody wrote on the comment say, if this everything like this, there's no more war. That's humanity. That's peace. That's everything. Somebody say the music is from heaven. It's not about talking about us. They do feel such different cultural can blend so seamlessly, very smooth.
Right.
And because the music, I think that if I really believe if everybody started to talk, if we have differences, we should talk with heart to heart rather than fight. So our tool is to talk through music.
Yeah.
So every time we play music, we feel the same joy, same sadness, whatever. I think
It
the
is a
question
journey.
is
A
great.
journey.
Yeah,
It is a journey.
It's a journey, really. It's not about what we want to get there. It's the journey, how we're making a piece, how we're making the music. It's really, really touching. Why, like he said, he loved to collaborate. When you find somebody so wonderful, you learn so much while you're playing.
Absolutely.
Really, we learn to each other, and actually we understand each other's culture through music.
And I think I have a follow-up question to that. Is you talk about journey. I'm sure that in your duo, you've been working together for so long, but besides, it's definitely not always a smooth ride. So I'm wondering if there are any challenging moments and how do you work through that?
Well, yes. Oh my God.
From A to Z.
It's too
risky. It's challenging. It's yeah, definitely, because
Okay.
nothing written down. This is exactly the music on the spot, just now. You can't be out of yourself. There is notes, notation. There is so many things, but how you keep going with that and with your partner and to be on the same page. This is the very challenging issue.
The biggest challenge is the instruments.
Yeah.
Because Issam has the oud, had no frets. So Arabic music is a quarter tone, but Chinese pipa has the frets. It's the equal temperament, but it's a little different than the piano. So for me to try to match their traditional Arabic music, I have to bend my hand or to get exactly the quarter tone. You can get it. That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
If any people player will know how difficult it is to try to matching the quarter tone. But even with him for 4 years, I'm still constantly challenge myself, constantly struggle it. And they have so many mukam, which mean totally different from Chinese 5 pentatonic scale. And also, Chinese musician we trained as a conservatory, we don't know how to improvisation. We don't know how to improvise at all. But for me, the biggest challenge is how can I improvise the same time, not to like he play his Arabic, I play my Chinese, or like share a stage. That doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to learn from the Arabic music, trying to integrate to my pipa techniques at the same time to match their style and also be have my own identity. So it's Issam, like I find a good friend song. Right away, he is trying to match the Chinese pentatonic scale. So you can tell that's how we work together. It's really, really challenging. Like he said, we do everything on the spot. You never know what it would be. That's why our first album was Life as It Is. Life as It Is. Sometimes can be glamour, sometimes could not. But so far we're very lucky. Every time we do our music, every time we do CD, we just went to the studio, no editing, just record it. That's it. So it's really, really rewarding at the same time, very challenging. Yes. Good, beautiful question.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think both artists have touched on some of this. I wanted to know each of you as artists, when did you start decided that this is the instrument that I wanted to play the rest of my life? And I also wonder, how do you find each other and start working together and create beautiful music together?
Okay, I will say first how we met. I teach at Carleton College, directing a Chinese music ensemble and the global music ensemble. I love collaborate with all the musicians, so I create a ensemble with all the global music. So 2017, Issam is our guest artist. So I asked him to teach us two of his composition about Arabic music. So before he leave, we just say, we both composers, we both love to improvise, we both played for many, many years. So we decided just go to the studio just for fun. Then we had our first CD. Now we had a second CD. So that's kind of like that's how we met, and also that's how we decided, because the minutes we play, even didn't talk, we didn't know, never know what he was doing and I was doing. Then we made the CD was so beautiful. Then we decided, okay, let's do this, continue. It's really, really great.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play pipa, and I will not to choose play pipa in my next life. Because the pipa is too difficult. My mom forced me, because during the Cultural Revolution, she wants me to have a better job, not go to the countryside. The pipa is the one of the most difficult one. So my mom picked. Then I just have to do it, and when I started, I was 8 years old. So that's kind of my life. I think you some have a much better story than you want to hear, not mine. Every time I go to conservatory, people say, "Oh, that's not the teacher want to hear." People will say you love your instrument. I love my instrument. Now it's a part of my blood. But when I was little, my mom locked me inside of the house for 8 hours a day. I hate it so much. I remember I have one wish. If I ever wish, I would never play the pipa again. Now almost 50 years, I'm still playing the pipa. So how about you, Sam? Your story is much better than that.
No, it's long. Long story short, it's everything like surrounding me. It was about to choose the oud. So first of all, I was a musician in the early age by participating in the music activities at school, and never had an oud. Once I went to Syria as a summertime. I was living in Kuwait, so I found the oud at my uncle's house. I sneak into the room every day, just pick the oud and trying to tune it, because it's the hardest ever for the beginners how to tune the oud. So because it's double, each one double, and it's the same, and how to get it both like clear sound and very accurate. So this is really very challenging too for the beginners. So yeah, I just end of the summer, that summer, I played something to my uncle, and he was very surprised. Then from that time, I played every day, like so many hours. Yeah.
Many, many hours. And improvisation is not just on the spot we could do it. It's years of together, a
Yeah,
whole package.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not we can just, okay, let's do something.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's many years of practice, listening, learning. That's what it is.
learning every day. This is for your entire life to the end.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can still learn something every day.
Yeah.
I love the attitude of perpetual learners. And the next question is about your opinion on the Southeast Asian music, such as gamelan from Java or sasando from Rhode Island. And the audience is asking, I know that some of them uses exotic pentatonic scales. And also the audience want you to know that he or she is from Indonesia.
Wow, I love gamelan, by the way. And the reason I love that, I love the song, and I don't know. I'm sure you're from Indonesia. I know there is one composer whose name is Lou Harrison, and he is the one of called the father of the Asian music in America. So when I first came to Minnesota, I never heard a gamelan when I was in Central Conservatory in Beijing because we didn't hear anything. The first time I heard it, I was just say, "Wow, that was amazing!" Because it's not like a same, the intonation is different. All the sing together. It's more like a together working as a team. Like somebody just play one note, other people do the. When they put it together, just so beautiful. I love every kind of Asian music. I played with the sitar, veena from India. I did from Japanese. I did with Vietnamese the music and like a kodo and all the. I love all the Asian music and especially the world music, anything. I even play classical music or Irish music or blues, jazz, whatever. Yeah. But definitely, gamelan is one of my favorite. Java music is just so beautiful. Yeah.
And I guess, are there any questions from the floor I want to ask before? Okay, so there's one more question from the Zoom audience.
Okay.
What is more enjoyable for you, creating the piece or sharing and performing the piece?
At the same time, because we are not before, and we're creating and enjoy on the stage with audience. I think that we did that together. We created on the moment, the same time we enjoyed.
We couldn't be apart from one side,
Yeah, it's not that we pre-write it,
Collectively.
then we'll say that we'll create it, then we will enjoy perform. Because our style is not a very common style. We enjoy on the spot while we're creating, especially with the audience. We're sharing the special moment with the audience. That's the most joyful feelings. And especially sometimes when we, without talk, we still can connect. That's creating the joyful and perform on the same time. Yeah. I think this maybe for the classical music will make sense. We'll write, compose first, then we'll play. For us, is just at the moment. Yeah.
So I think in a sense, today's piece is very unique since you mentioned that it's the first time you're performing out of your house, out of your room. So thank you so much for giving us such a special edition of your performance together. And I also want to thank both of the artists for sharing all the beautiful stories with us. And I want to mention that we did have around 100 audience wanted to be here. Some of them via Zoom, and also this is live on YouTube. So some of them are watching on YouTube. We also will be sending the recording of today's performance to all the registrants. So just want to make sure that everybody know that if you haven't had enough of beautiful tunes today, we can always go back and hear more about it. And a couple announcements before we close out today's wonderful celebration is that, this is a kickoff event for the Commission for AAPI on campus. And we're going to have a lunch and learn on October 26th. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be sending out more information about that through the email. And before we go parting our ways, may I invite everybody here to the center, whoever's attending in person, and taking a group picture with our artists. Would that be okay?
Oh, we can take a picture. We can without us, right? Yeah, let's take a picture of on the screen.
Yes, on the screen. So because we have a room set up, and then we still have people in person attending, so we wanted to also bring those who are on Zoom with us together, and we'll take a group picture together.
Great, love it.
Yes, yeah, and I want to thank that. I see that we have a few friends from the U.S. China Heartland Association. So they are the ones that how we actually invited you here. So I want to sincerely thank them for connecting the dots and for us to have this opportunity to enjoy the beautiful music. Also want to thank the Diversity Engagement Office for sponsoring the event, for many others who make this event beautiful, and also Professor Hu and Natalie here for bringing us some of the artifacts to look at, and then the beautiful presentation as well. So
Thank
if I
you so much for having us, especially
Thank you.
thank all of the people who work so hard. Jason was working so hard for the entire whole time. We wish we were there on campus because we just came back from Tennessee, but I hope someday we'll see you in person. Like I always say, our music is always first time you ever heard, then you cannot hear again. So just watching the YouTube if you want more. Thank you so much. Let's have a group picture. I'm going to unpin myself so we all can have a group picture then.
okay, one step this way. Cheese.
Got it?
One more. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful evening. We want to see you back on campus.
Yeah, I would love to. Okay, thank you so much
Thank you.
again. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.